Hi everybody. So I've created this YouTube channel because I've decided that I'm going to do the Sonobello Trisculpt procedure. And I know when I was doing my research, I didn't find too many YouTube videos that got straight to the point and answered the questions that I wanted to know about. So that's the point of this video. Hopefully you guys find it helpful. I want to get right into it. I decided that I wanted to get this Trisculpt procedure just because I have a little bit of stubborn lower belly fat, and I'm a person who works out very often. I go to the gym probably 4 or 5 times a week. I've competed in a bodybuilding competition 2 years ago, but I had a child 14 years ago, and that lower belly fat, I'll show you guys pictures later, it's just stubborn and it doesn't seem to go away. I mean, if I'm being truthful, diet is part of it, but also my trainer had told me at the time it also had to do with loose skin. I didn't really believe that until I went for my consultation at Sonobello. So this video is specifically about my experience at the consultation and what happened that day. So when I went to the consultation, I'm just gonna get straight to the point. They weigh you and they see how tall you are, and they figure out what your BMI is, okay? That is what your pricing is going to be based on. So someone like me, I'm 5'6", my weight is 163 pounds, and so they told me my BMI is 27. So I actually have the breakdown here. What I'm going to be doing is upper abs, lower abs, and then the waist, which is the 2 love handles. Okay, so that's about $2,000 a pop. So that's $6,000 right there. Like I told you, they said my lower abs, there's some skin there as a result of me having a child. So they said in addition to needing the regular Trisculpt procedure, if I wanted to get rid of that skin, they would have to do a procedure called Ab-X. And basically what the Ab-X is it cuts out the extra skin and it pulls it nice and tight so that your stomach will be flat, because it can be flat under, but then the skin gives the appearance, like in my case, a little bulge, as if it's fat, where I have some fat, but a lot of it can be loose skin. That procedure is $5,300. So we're at 246, okay? And then we're adding another $5,300, okay? So we're already at like $11,000, right? If my math is right, yeah. So that's $11,000. They do a pre-op appointment fee for $500, okay? So my pre-op is gonna be in 2 weeks, and that's the time you meet with your surgeon before the procedure. So they charge you for that. There's a medical waste fee of $89. Then they tack on another $2,000 for this recovery package. This was one of the selling points for me because it includes all your massages. So after you have the procedure with Sonobello, you're gonna see them a week after. I think you see them a month after. If I'm not mistaken, it might be 3 months and then 6 months, I think she told me, but you're seeing them, periodically. But she did tell me we're going for massages on a weekly basis, and this is included in your pricing, so you don't have to worry about finding somewhere else to go and get a massage. It also includes what's called a faja, which is like some type of garment that is really tight, because after you have the procedure, apparently you want to wear a fitted garment like that to keep everything tight, I guess. So basically the total came out to $15,000, almost $16,000, because there's also a surgical fee I forgot to tell you about. That's $2,500. So when you add that all up, it came out to $16,000, okay? This is what I want you guys to know that I wasn't aware of. When I had my consultation, I thought I was just gonna go to get more information. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is kind of how they got me. I did like the all-inclusive recovery package, like I explained. there's something called a same-day booking incentive that takes off almost $1,600 off the total price, which I told you mine is about $16,000. In addition to that, there was some monthly promotion, 10% that she was able to apply, another $1,600. So this was well over $3,000 I got off. Luckily, I went in that day and I had the $3,000. I had you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, they gave me the $3,000 off, but ironically, that's also the same amount I had to put down. So when they took the $3,000 off, my total came down to like $12,000. Okay, and I had to put $3,000 down. So now the balance is $9,000, right? They let me apply for credit. There's like care credit, and then there was another one. So that's another thing I want to caution you about. The day you go, I would say don't make your consultation until you know you're ready to do this. So that one, you get the same day booking incentive promotion, okay? Number two, make sure you're ready with your credit, that you know you're going to get approved. Because like me, I don't have $12,000 to put down. I mean, I had the $3,000 that day, luckily, but my credit is really good, so I was approved like that. So I was approved for more than what I even needed for the procedure. So I chose the option just to start at the lowest payments, where basically I would pay $230 a month. And I chose it for the longest time period, which was like 60 months, which means 5 years. But the good thing is, it's not going to take me 5 years, because she said you can pay off more and you won't be penalized. So, but I just wanted my obligation of what I had to pay per month to be very low. So I chose, like I told you, there's the care credit, I think it was called, and then there was another one that I went for. The reason I went for the other one was because the percentage was lower. It was like 17.9%, and the credit care credit one was like 20%. We're talking about the interest. So long story short, 3 things right off the bat. When you book your consultation, make sure you have money for a down payment. Make sure you're ready to book that same day when you go to the Sonobello consultation, just to get the most discounts. Make sure you are able to get approved for credit, okay? So those would be things that I didn't know going into it that day, that I hope is really helpful for you. That's the pricing. I broke it down. We are in October 2025. So this is up-to-date information. I went to the location in Roseland, New Jersey. Apparently, it's the only surgical center that Sonobello has in New Jersey. There's other locations that you can go to for consultations and stuff like that, but the actual procedure, the procedure, you're going to have to get there. There's other locations in New York, Pennsylvania, stuff like that, but I'm talking about New Jersey, the state that I am in. Something else that I would caution you when you go for the procedure, for the consultation, you want to know who you want for the procedure. I didn't know that. So when I went in, the lady was very nice, but she's like, oh, I have the perfect surgeon for you. And I just didn't think anything. I was like, oh, okay, he sounds great. When I went home and I Googled him, I happened to show a friend, and she's like, that's not a board certified plastic surgeon. He was board certified surgeon, but there's a difference. I did not know that. So luckily I was able to and that person that she told me, oh, I have the perfect guy for you, I didn't like his profile. It talked mostly about his family life. I want to know, what are your credentials? Where did you graduate from? Like all your stuff to do with your surgeries. So when you look on the Sonobello website, you can see their surgeons, and it'll tell you, make sure you go for the board certified plastic surgeon. They have the most rigorous like educational requirements, and they will also have like a lot of experiences. So I text the lady I had the consult with, because she gives you her phone number, and I thought she was going to be like a little annoyed. And I was like, hey, I did my research on the guy you said is going to do my procedure. You know, I'm not really comfortable with him. Can I get a board certified plastic surgeon? I said, I actually looked one up on the website. I like this one. He's in PA. She was like, sure. We also have another option in Westchester, New York. And I saw that guy's credentials and everything, and I was like, oh, he looks like he definitely the one. All the awards he's gotten, all the societies he's a part of, all the surgeries he's done, you can see all that online. So I'm actually going to have my procedure done in Westchester now in New York. Mind you, I told you I live in New Jersey. So now this changed everything as far as this was supposed to be the one-stop shop in Roseland. I went for the consult. I was supposed to go there for the pre-op. I was supposed to go there for the procedure and then all the post-op care. Now, since I threw a monkey wrench in it because I didn't want to go with this surgeon that they had there, the one that I wanted, since he was a board certified plastic surgeon, I'm going to travel a little bit. I have to go to Westchester, so it's like an hour and a half drive. But for me, that's going to be worth it. I'd rather go with someone I feel is, you know, going to make sure I'm good, because remember, I'm having that ab X procedure where they're actually going to cut an incision. They're going to cut it right along where my C-section scar was, so which is very low and not noticeable, so that's good. But I wanted to go somewhere a little bit where I felt more comfortable, a person I felt more comfortable with, even if I had to drive. I want to talk to you guys about the procedure itself, which I haven't had yet. Obviously, I just went for the consultation, but this is what they've informed me of. So that's another tip that I had, is to make sure you do your research and know who you want when you go in there. So when they try to tell you, oh, I have this person, you can say, no, I want this one. Okay. The other tip that I wanted to tell you, so remember, the first thing is that you want to go in there ready to pay. Okay. Like, have some cash with you so you can put for your down payment. Number two, make sure you're ready to be approved for credit. Unless you go in there with the whole $12,000, and mind you, the prices vary. You must get a consultation to know how much it's going to cost. What I can say is that for me, each part was $2,000. Like I said, the upper ab was $2,000, lower ab was $2,000, and then the sides, the waist or flanks as they call them, that was $2,000. If I didn't need the skin part cut off and tightened, I wouldn't even had that extra $5,000 thrown in there. So like I said, be ready to pay, be ready to be approved for credit. Like, when you go in for this consult, have your mind already made. Do your research ahead of time, watch all the videos you need to do, all of that. But I wanted to talk to you, like I said, no, the surgeon who you want to see. I wanted to talk to you about what this procedure is, because I know when I was researching, I was a little confused. There was non-invasive, invasive, and then there was minimally invasive. This procedure is considered minimally invasive, okay? Non-invasive is when, and I had this done before, I did it once, I didn't think it was effective, the non-invasive one. You're basically laying down, they put the, it looks like you're going to get an ultrasound. They put some kind of cream on your stomach and they're rubbing this machine on it, and supposedly you're supposed to be losing fat. I mean, maybe it works for some other people. Maybe I didn't really give it much of a shot. I knew it was like $100 and that was just one, and they said you needed like 8, and I'm like, eh. So that's non-invasive. They're not puncturing you, nothing. They're just rubbing something on your stomach. That's non-invasive. This procedure that I'm going to get, the Sonobello Trisculpt, is minimally invasive. It's minimally invasive because you're not being put under general anesthesia. You're not being knocked out. General anesthesia knocks you totally out. You can't talk to them. You don't know what's going on. You wake up and it's done. This procedure is going to be under local anesthesia, which means you're going to be heavily sedated, you're going to be out of it, loopy, whatever, but you're still awake. You can still talk to the surgeon who's doing the procedure. So that's the difference between minimally invasive, okay, versus invasive. The minimally invasive and the invasive are both liposuction. This Trisculpt Sonobello procedure is liposuction. I'm getting liposuction done. How this procedure is going to work is they're going to make small incisions. So I told you I'm getting the top abs. They're going to make a hole there, incision, hole, whatever. The lower one, a hole there. And on the sides, they're going to make a hole there. They're going to put this like cannula, which is like a little device or whatever. It's going to go through those incisions, and it has a laser on the end of it. So that laser is going to be melting the fat, and then it's going to suction it out. Okay, so but they're going to do it through those small holes that they're making. Supposedly, this is what I was told. I haven't had it done yet. I only have my consultation. This is what was explained to me. You can find out this through your readings. You can find out this through your videos. But anyway, when they go in there and they get all that fat out, okay, it's still liposuction. It's getting sucked out of there. So you are having surgery, but it's the same day situation. You're awake, you're in and out, okay? So that's why it's called minimally invasive. versus the regular liposuction, which is invasive. Okay, I'm trying to think of any other questions that I had, because like I said, I did want to be straight to the point. I'm going to upload another video that kind of shows my body and the skin, so that you can look and see what is costing me this $12,000. And then you can kind of, like I said, everyone has to go theirself to get a price, but just so you can kind of compare. I'm 5'6", I'm 163 pounds. I go to the gym very often, but I don't really be dieting like I'm supposed to. And I guess I am being a little lazy and taking the easy way out. But the thing is, you still have to exercise after this. For me, exercising is not the problem. It's kind of like eating the right things. So I 100% will be doing that after this procedure, because I don't want to have wasted all my money. This is my first YouTube video, so please comment and let me know what you want to know. But this is just based off of the consultation, and I will let you know how the pre-op goes, and I'll do another video then. Thank you.